We are gonna learn an amazing new skill today, and we're gonna be making our very own notepads that you all can make from home. I mean, these are so nice, y'all. I am very, very impressed. Like, let's just go overhead. I wanna show you guys how, like, look at this. How professional these look. They look like you bought them from a store.
Oh, for sure. And the way it peels off too,
I mean,
exactly like a store-bought one.
Are y'all ready? Like, let's just peel these. Ah! It peels so nice. Now, I did notice that on the, like the title says a sticky note, they're not gonna be sticky. It's more like a notepad. Like, this is a tearaway notepad that we're doing. So this is what we are going to be making today. Supplies are very, very minimal. Now, the cool thing about this is these are already, we have files. We actually have 3 or 4 different files that you can just automatically download from our website, pop them into Design Space, size them the way that you want to, and print and go. However, these are something like you can customize these to make them your own. So if you wanted to put like notes, or if you wanted to even like put in little, what am I trying to say, like doodles down here to make it your own, or like put your name down here, or from the desk of yada, 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 you can do that. And you can really customize and make these make them your own. So we're gonna teach you guys how to do that today. Like I said, the supplies are very, very minimal for this. We're gonna be starting off with, I'm gonna be using, this is the brand that we have here in the office, the Astro Brights. I actually just bought this personally from Walmart, so you all can buy these. We are using a, this is a 65-pound cardstock. You don't have to use a cardstock if you don't want to. I just feel like a cardstock is, this 65-pound is a really good, it's substantial. It's not super light, but it's also flexible enough that I don't feel like, you know, I like this 65-pound cardstock for this project. Next up, and this is gonna be optional. You guys don't have to do this, but we are gonna be using the thin craft board. This is the Cricut thin craft board. Pretty much what this is it's just a very thick cardstock. In this brown craft color, and that just kind of gives it that backing, and I think that's what takes it to the next level for this.
Oh, for sure. Because
before, without that, it just kind of looked unfinished, but with this brown on the back, it's what makes it truly look like, I mean, store-bought. Yes, this would be a great grocery checklist. There's so many things you can do with this. You could even make a chores checklist for your kids.
That would be a good idea.
Like either a daily chores checklist, or, I don't know about you guys, but we'll go back to one for a second. But growing up, we had in my house what we called Saturday cleaning. And I feel like this sounds, when I tell people we had this, some people are like, yeah, we did too. Some people are like, no, we didn't do that. But my mom, we always had Saturday cleaning. So we would keep the house clean throughout the week. But then on Saturday, we would do more of like a deep clean. And us girls, because I'm the oldest of 3, we had to participate, and we all had things that we had to do. So that meant our deep clean Saturday cleaning was, we would scrub the bathrooms, the showers, the bathtubs. We would sweep, or we would vacuum, mop, all of that stuff, dust, you know, like a normal deep clean, but we compiled it all on Saturday, and we would do it before, our goal would be to have it done before like 1 o'clock, noon, 1 o'clock, and then we could go do whatever in the afternoon Saturday. So, and we still do that to this day. So I think this would be like a great Saturday cleaning or deep cleaning checklist. So many things that you can do with this. So I love this project, but we'll go back overhead and continue with the materials that we need. So we've talked about the cardstock, we've talked about the craft board. You are going to need light grip mats. This is just to cut your notepads out. Now I am gonna have 2 because I'm gonna have one going, and while one's cutting, I'm gonna be loading the other one with the second, and then it's like gonna be rapid fire for this, okay? Daphne asked, what weight is the craft board cardstock? This is about a kind of like 110-pound weight cardstock. So if you don't have this, you don't have to buy the actual Cricut craft board. You can buy a heavyweight cardstock in whatever color you want. So this is about 110 pounds if I had to guess. And the star of the show for today's project is going to be Maker's Magic. This is what is going, literally the glue that holds it all together. This is the star of the show. This is the secret sauce. This is what you're gonna have to keep your notepad together. So this is the sauce. This is the secret sauce here. So we do have Maker's Magic, and then of course we have a paintbrush to put it on with. The other thing that we have are these little binder clips. Now you don't have to be bougie and have cute ones. These come out of Sadie's desk. Y'all know Sadie's bougie. And I went and I asked her, I said, do we have like those black binder clips? She's like, I don't think we have any black ones, but I have these. And I was like, of course you would. That would be great. Susan even said a recycled cereal box. You could do that and use the inside of it, like use a recycled cereal box for this. That would work for the backing as well. So literally right here, those are our materials for our notepad. Super simple, right?
So easy.
I mean, it's if there was one thing that you may not have, I'm not gonna say probably don't, but if there is one thing that you all didn't have, it would probably be the Maker's Magic. This you are going to find on Amazon. It is linked down below. You can purchase it on Amazon. You can go to their website and purchase as well. Either place, this is going to be the best stuff. Now, with all of that being said, I say let's go ahead and jump into it, y'all. Today is going to be, it's so easy. Like, I think your mind is going to be blown at how easy this is. What's gonna take the longest is cutting our files out. That's it. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and hop over to our share screen, and here we are going to show you what we have. Now, if you go to, let's just go to makersgonnalearn.com and I'll show you exactly how to get here. So whether you start out on this page or if you start out on our dashboard, we'll go to our dashboard. First of all, if you are new to our channel, this is what we call a dashboard. This is the hub of our website. I'm obsessed with it. You can go to your cut files, fonts, access to our Facebook group, our resource library, classes, courses, everything you can find within your dashboard. So we're gonna start out on our dashboard, and first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to cut files, and yes, Karen, we are actually gonna have our Cricut cut the pages out, so don't worry, we're not gonna hand cut these. We're gonna have our Cricut cut these out. So from your dashboard, first of all, look at these adorable new files.
So cute. Look at the record
can't.
ones. Oh my gosh.
First of all, I have not seen this new back to school one.
Oh my goodness.
I'm obsessed. Like, I want to do that. Okay, anyway, I'm not going to get distracted by all our files. So, what you're going to do is you are going to search notebook, and then from there, you're going to get to choose. Now, these are the ones that we have already pre-made for you. This is the one that I'm going to be using today, the notebook page 1. This one is also super, super cute. Like, look at that, guys. Is that not adorable? I love it. And then the other one is this one, which is also super cute. I think it's adorable. But there was just something about like a classic notebook page that I just really liked. So this is the one we're going to be using today. What you're going to do is you're going to click this arrow pointing down to download it. From there, you're going to double click it, make sure you unzip that, and then we're going to go back to Design Space. I'm going to cancel this. Yes, we're going to cancel the cut. cancel. Y'all, I was getting ready. We'll hide this for right now. And then from there, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to upload. We're going to upload image. You all know me, I love going from my Finder. This is the notebook page 1. We're going to drag and drop back into Cricut. We want to upload this as a complex file. We're going to click continue. And then we are going to apply and continue. Donna asks, is the pink background print or do you need pink paper? Donna, the pink background does print for you. You do not have to use pink paper. So just keep that in mind. You do not have to use pink paper. It does print pink. And then we are going to select the print and cut image and upload that. And then select it and add it to Canvas. And y'all, other than sizing, now you can see this boy comes in really big, really big. So all we have to do is resize, and that's pretty much it.
That's crazy.
It's that simple. We have made it that simple for you guys. If you want to make it simple, it can be simple. If you want to add other touches, you can do that as well. That is going to be completely up to you. So the size that we have is I'm pretty sure it's a 5x7, but let me double check. I'm wanting to say I did do a 5x6. Oh, I did a 4x6-ish. Actually, let me unhide this. Let's go here. And I'm going to select this one. Okay. So I have 5.5 by 4. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna hide this back again and then we'll pull this in. Hide, beautiful. Okay, so we are going to make sure this stays locked. We're gonna put our width in as 4, and that is going to be the size of our notebook. Did y'all see that? That's all I did. Let's go back. Select, making sure our little lock stays on because we want this to stay locked. And then we're going to the width, highlight all that, punch in the number 4, hit enter, boom. That's the size we need. Very complicated, right? I love it. Now, let's talk about if you want to customize some things that you can do. So we'll start out, maybe you have this as, maybe you might want to keep it as notes, or maybe you want to just add a checklist to this. So something you can do, this is optional. What you can do is we can go to our shapes in just a minute. Maybe it will pull up. So Joanne said, how much does it cost for a yearly membership? If you sign up for our 7-day free trial, and you choose the yearly membership route, I'm pretty sure with the discount that you're gonna be saving, I'm pretty sure it brings it to $197 for the year, which is a steal, an absolute steal. Okay, shapes, I'm going to choose a square. I'm gonna size this square down, and you can size it to however big or however small you want. And then from there, I'm gonna change it from a basic cut to a pin, and that's going to leave an open checkbox kind of thing. So after that, what you can do is duplicate it, and then just add in your checkboxes there. And I'll show you how we can, and we're just gonna keep duplicating. And what we can do, let me zoom in a little bit more because it's like not wanting to. So we're gonna keep duplicating, adding our check boxes. And then what you can do is select all of your check boxes, and we'll go to align, and we're gonna align them to the left. And so now they're in a very neat row, okay? So, after you've done that, and this is if you want to make a checklist, you can come in with a text. This is obviously going to come in. We'll zoom back out. we'll go to our fonts. Now, this is where you can choose what kind of font that you want. You can choose a sketch font. It really doesn't matter. I really like this typewriter font. Let's do that. I think this one's cute. So
adorable.
if you wanted to do like, let's do a chores checklist. So we'll do sweep. We're gonna size that down. And you can make it as large or as small, or if you want to leave it open and just write in your whatever you want as like a list, you can do that. But you can do sweep, and then we'll duplicate it again, and we'll do mop on this one. Bring it here, duplicate again, we'll do this one dust. But you all are getting the picture, right? Like you're getting where it's going. So, and then what I would do is I would have like my general chores. If you wanted to make a chores checklist, I would have my general chores here. And then I would leave a couple extra blank. That way I can add in my extra chores, because I don't know about you guys, but I have my general chores that I do. So that's just like general cleaning, clean the bathrooms, sweep, mop, dust, clean the doors, mirrors, you know, basic things like that. But we also like to add in extra chores each week, so that it's not chores you have to do every single week, but like clean the baseboards, or clean out something, like clean out the closet. You know, there's just little things that we like to do and add in at our house. So that would be a good thing, is have your general chores already done, and then leave some room for extra. But after you have done that and customized, made it however you want, what you can do is select everything and flatten it together. And that's it, guys.
Wow.
That's it.
That was so easy.
So easy. So if you wanted to make a grocery list, you could, what you can do for a grocery list, you can have like your general milk, bread, eggs, butter, you know, your general things. And then the last few places are check boxes. You can come in and leave them blank, so you can write in specific things that you need that week, like for certain recipes that you might be creating. So anyway, that is just what you are gonna do if you want to customize it, okay? From there, what I have found works best, especially for this size. Now for this size, I can only fit 2 of them on a page. So, but what happens is, let's say I duplicated this, we have 4 different things, and I go to make it, what it's gonna do is it's gonna put one of these pages on an individual page. Y'all, you know, I love to save space, and I'm gonna try every chance I get. So, what I found was if I turn it sideways, that I can fit 2 on there. But nobody wants to go in there and have to manually move that, go to this mat, move it to mat number 1, whatever. So what you can do is, we're gonna go to cancel, and I'm actually gonna delete these out. We're gonna start back from the beginning. What I have found works the best is we are going to rotate this 90 degrees, okay? Rotate it 90 degrees. Then we're gonna duplicate it, pull it down, giving some room in between there, okay? And I'll zoom out so you guys can see it. So we have rotated it 90 degrees, pulled it down. Now what we're gonna do is select both of these and attach them together.
Okay.
That's it. Now what happens is, let's say I duplicate this 3 times or whatever, and we go to make it. Now you can see I have 2 pages on there, and it works perfectly. Like, I don't have to go and manually move everything.
That is
So
a crazy hack.
Right.
That is so good.
So that is why it is very important, especially for this project, to just go ahead and duplicate. I would rotate it 90 degrees, duplicate it, and then attach it together. That way you don't have to manually move everything around. Is this making, are we good? Is everybody on the same page? So I love it. Now, I'm gonna delete all of these because I have already printed quite a few pages. Y'all can see here. This is another thing that's gonna take a little bit of time, is printing all of your pages. So I have already printed quite a few of these. So I deleted those. I'm gonna bring back, and we'll go back to our share screen. I'm gonna bring back my original ones that I had. Can you change the matte color? Sure, I'll change it if you need me to. If that makes it better for you to see. Is that easier? So, now I've just brought these back in. What I'm gonna do, once you've customized, rotated, and attached, what we are then going to do is we're gonna go to Make It. Okay? Now, from there, you just have, honestly guys, you don't have to duplicate it on your mat however many times. All you have to do is do it once, and I'm gonna show you how I printed so many things. Now, it doesn't make sense, but just bear with me. So we have our one mat here. We've just got the one with the two on top, okay? You can change the notes. You would just have to cover that word up. You can't, because this is a PNG, you cannot, and let's just go ahead and talk about it. Let's go back. And I'll go ahead and just tell you guys how to change it real quick. Let me hide this because I don't want to change, I don't want to move those around because I already have those printed. I'll bring this one back in. We're going to add it to canvas. Sizing it, it's unlocked. I'm going to make sure I lock this. Sizing it back down to 4, okay? I'll zoom in and show you guys how you can change the word notes. This is what I would do, because you don't want to come in here and slice this out, this word. What I would do is I would grab a shape, a basic shape. We'll just grab this rectangle here. I would size it down like so. Now I know, just bear with me. If you wanted to make it the same color, there is a little bit like, see how it's a little off? There's a way you can do this by finding this hex code. Let me show you how. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to go to our Google Chrome because I do have a hex code edition. It's called a Color Pick eyedropper here. So what I'm gonna do, I have this Chrome add-on, okay? And if I have to, I will show you guys how to find the add-ons, but I'm going to grab this hex code. Oh, am I gonna be able to do it on?
You can always do it on the cut file on the website.
Oh yeah, I can do it on the cut file on the website. Beautiful, okay. So here is your hex code. What we're gonna do is copy it. We're gonna go back to Design Space. With this selected, I'm gonna go to Advanced, and I'm gonna add in that hex code. And it still looks different, but let me see once I flatten it if it's the same. I feel like it's pretty close.
It's really close.
So what you would do is just take a shape, cover up the word notes, and there is not an SVG of this to further customize. So sorry, these are just PNG files. It's not an SVG file, but you would just cover that up and then flatten it together so now you do not see the word. And then what you can do is come in with a text, whatever font you want. We'll just keep this, and you can add groceries. Size it down. It's gonna be here, select it all, flatten it together. So, I mean, there are ways around these. If you don't want it to say notes, there are ways around it. So, just that is exactly how I would customize it, what I would do to customize. So this is how I do it. Now, Susan asked for 8.5 by 11. Could you fit 4 if they were 4 by 5? So I don't think you can, because it's not, you can't exactly, just because it's 8.5 by 11, Cricut does not allow you to go all the way to the edges. Does that make sense? So their bounding box, you have more room than you used to with the bounding box with Print and Cut, but you still do not have like completely to the edges if you want your Cricut to cut it. Now, if you want to download these, it's also one of those things, you can still customize it on Canva, but it's going to be different. But if you want to hand cut them and get more on one page, you could print it from Canva, but today we are just getting them, we're just doing them in Cricut. So this is what we're doing. We're getting 2 out of 1 page. How do you find that color grabber? I knew we would get this question, so let's just go ahead and I'll teach you how to do that as well, because it really is an amazing tool to use. I'm so picky with my colors. Like even looking at this screen, like I can see the difference in those 2 yellows personally. Not everybody's going to be able to see that, so I'm really picky about my colors. But what we're going to do is I'll show you how to grab that using hex codes. Is very important. So I would suggest using Google Chrome. Now from there, what you are going to do is we are going to we'll do this. So we're here. I'm pretty sure we can just type in Chrome hex code extension, Chrome hex color extension. Here you can see it's the Google one, hex color picker. You're going to select that, add it to Chrome, add your extension. There it is. And then what you would do, extensions, color pick. I think the one we just did was the hex color picker. You can pin it to your extensions up here, and then from there we can go back, which I don't want to. I want to click off of this. Ooh, let's do, I want to select it, exit off. There we go. Beautiful. So we've selected this, and then what you would do is just come up here, whether you're using color picker or like this one is the eyedropper. We're going to, I like the color picker already. I'll just be real honest. This was a new one. Oh, there it is. And then you would select this, same thing, okay? Is this, are we good? Are we good?
I think so.
Okay, beautiful. Yes, everyone's been saying, use this, use that. Absolutely, you don't have to use 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. This is just what we did. If your printer prints on 12 by 12, you can do that as well and fit more on it. We're just doing 8.5 by 11. I have found that 2 of them fit best. If you're doing a 4 by, it's actually a 4 by 5.5-ish notepad. So 2 fit best on 8.5 by 11. It just made it easy. It's not super expensive. Cardstock is not super expensive. So that's what we're doing today. So we're going to go back to Design Space. I'm going to delete this one out. Delete. Bring this guy back in. We'll zoom out. Remember, we were at the Make It stage. We're going to go to Continue. Now, here is where it took me a minute to do this step. And I wish there was a simpler way to do this, because if there is, I personally I couldn't figure it out. I just wanted one mat, because I'm just going to be sending that same mat. I'm printing the same thing over and over, cutting the same thing. It's like an assembly line. So what I did is I would hit send to printer, select your printer, use system dialog. For this one, you can tell there is a difference between this white and the white on our notebook. So I did want to keep bleed on. Okay, always keep bleed on with this one. Select our printers. And actually what I did was, I think it's when you use system dialog, it doesn't let you do multiple copies at a time. But you always want to use system dialog because we want to make sure we turn on best quality print. So this is where it's one of those things you're gonna have to go back and send a printer, however many times, because we go to print, we pull this down, dialog pops up here, and it did not let me, see, it doesn't let me choose how many copies I want. Pages per sheet, border, two-sided, that's layout, paper handling, automatic. Can't choose how many there, watermark, we don't want a watermark, and this is just telling me the supply levels. So what I had to do, and what you all may have to do as well, is where I like feeding from rear tray, best quality print. While that's printing and I've got this pulled down, what I do is I go back here to printed, send to printer, use system dialog, print. It'll pop up here, feed from rear tray, best print. So now I know I've got 2 in the queue ready to print, and how you can check is if you go to your printer, you can see how many you have in the queue here. And then I'm gonna go back to Cricut, go back to printed, send to printer. And I know, guys, this seems very monotonous. Trust me, I know I didn't necessarily want to keep doing this either, but this is the only way I found that I could do it and not like go cut it, then go to the printer and do it back and forth, okay? So people are saying, can you do it from the make screen? No, you can't. Not that I know of. And like I said, if you do copies here, but you turn on system dialog, you can't control your copies. Like, it just grays them out. If you can do, I did update project copies. This is just what it's doing for me. If you can do it on your Cricut, more power to you.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. I just was not able to, and this is what I'm just trying to teach you what I did.
Just in case yours doesn't do that.
Now, someone said duplicate it several times. You can do that as well, but you have to go to each individual mat and like print. So I just found it best just to keep going back and printing and sending it to project copies. So from the make screen, we'll go back and we'll cancel. Yes, because I'll be able to print. Project copies. Once again, all that project copies is going to do is give you different mats. Okay, so watch. It's just going to give you different mats. I don't necessarily want all these different mats. I just want one mat because we're just doing the one thing multiple times. Okay? So you can do that if you want to, but it's not necessary. So now I'm going to hit I've already printed. I'm going to grab the other ones that I just printed, and I will be right back. So before we start cutting, we are going to learn how to calibrate real quick, okay? So we're going to hit cancel. Yes, I'm going to cancel the cut. With this specific project, with these being attached, it's okay for you to cancel the cut and come back to it, because if you keep it exactly where it is and you don't move it, it will still cut in the same area. So you're good to go. It's fine. Don't worry. So we're going to go to cancel. We're going to learn how to calibrate our machine together. Now, Cricut has moved calibration, so it is a little harder to find. And I don't know if you all follow us on Instagram or TikTok, but I did a reel a couple weeks ago, because I'm telling you all, I spent 30 minutes or more trying to figure out where to find calibration, and it irritated me so bad. I could not find it. Actually, before we go there, I'm gonna run out here and put some, no, there should be paper in the main tray, shouldn't there? Okay, don't have to do that. So what you need to do is up here where your account info is with the drop down menu, what we're gonna do, Lorraine, I've already saved it, we're good, we don't have to. But I'll save it anyway, just in case. We're gonna hit save. There we go, okay. So what we're gonna do with the drop down menu, you're going to come to your settings. So in your settings, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to your machines. This makes no sense to me why you have to go to machines, but you have to go to machines. And then you have to go down here, you can see machine calibration. Now you have to select the device that you are going to be calibrating. Today we're going to be using an Explorer 3. So we're going to select Explorer 3 to calibrate, and then we're going to click Start. Okay? We are with the Explorer. The only calibration you can do with the Explorer is print and cut. Now, if you have a Maker or a Maker 3, you are going to see a knife blade or print and cut. We're doing print and cut calibration for this. We're going to select print and cut. We're sending it to our Canon TS8100, and we're gonna click print. What that's gonna do is that is going to send it to our printer, the printer that you're gonna be using for print and cut. This is very, very important, okay? It's very important that you print your print and cut page from the printer that you plan on using for your Cricut. Does that make sense? We don't want to print it from a random printer that we don't want to use. We want to make sure we always print the calibration page from the printer we plan on using for our print and cut projects. Okay? So I'm going to go grab this really quick. Once you start seeing that the cuts are a little off, calibrate if you move your machine. One of the things is with us here at the studio, we will move, depending on what projects we make, we may have to move our machine. If we're doing sublimation, we'll move the Cricut off the table, put the sublimation printer on. If we're doing something that requires the Maker, we'll pull the machine off and put the Maker on there. So moving your machine may cause you to need to calibrate. When you notice that the cuts are off, you may need to calibrate. Really and truly, it's not a bad idea to calibrate, you know, once every month or so, just to make sure it stays right on the right track. So I would it's one of those things like just pay attention to your machine and you'll know when to calibrate. Okay, I think it's printed now. Beautiful. Okay, we will go overhead. This is what the calibration page is going to look like. It's a few boxes with lines and numbers and then lines and letters. So once it has printed, we'll go back to our share screen. We're gonna click continue. What you're gonna do is you're gonna place the sheet in the top left corner of your mat. So I'm gonna grab this mat here, and you're gonna place the page with the numbers on the top, letters on the side, in the top left corner of your mat. We're just gonna stick it down really good, okay? Beautiful. From there, we're gonna click continue. We are doing it on the Explorer 3. We are connected via cord USB. We are not connected Bluetooth, but you can still do this if you are connected Bluetooth, okay? So you are doing this with your fine point blade, and what we're gonna do is we're now going to load our mat into our machine. Susan asked, is there a way to clean your machine? Like for printers, you send a cleaning page to clean print heads. There's really not a reason to have to clean your Cricut that I know of. Okay, so now we're going to press play. And Deborah said that, I don't think I've calibrated since I've had my machine, and you've had it for 3 years. I mean, if your machine is still cutting correctly, you may not have to calibrate. Honestly, you may not have to. That is just going to be something that you just need to pay attention to. But I just know that this machine, the last couple times we've done print and cut, it has not been very good. Not been very good. So what it's doing now is it's registering everything, and it's cut the box on the inside. It's a little off. I mean, it cut on the black line. You do not unload your machine at this point, okay? Do not unload your machine. You just want to see if it has cut on the line. Now, if it is on, which I wish you guys could see, if it's on the black, then, but it's still a little off, you do not need to do basic calibration. That is the point when you need to do fine calibration. If it's completely off the black square, then you need to do a basic calibration, and then you'll go back and do a fine calibration. This one is pretty much on the black center square, but still not perfect. So we're gonna go back to our share screen, and this is exactly what it's showing you. So if it is off like this one on the right, that means you need to do a basic calibration, okay? If it is on the black line, but it's still a little bit off, then you need to do a fine calibration, which is where we are at. So we want to select yes. We want to do a fine calibration because this is the one that we are getting right now. And then from there, we're gonna click continue. Now what it's gonna do is it's going to cut every single line across the top and every single line down the side, and then we choose which lines cut the closest. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to come over here, and let me come to this side. We are going to look at these lines that cut across and down, and we're gonna choose which one cut, directly down the middle. So currently we're looking at number 10 and letter N. Number 10, letter N. So we're gonna come back over here to our share screen. Top line is going to be, we're going to select number 10, right line, letter N. Then we're gonna click continue, and now it's going to cut the other square on our calibration sheet. And this is what Ty was saying by taking it out to check. So what you can do is if you want to grab a weeding tool, you can take it out, and we'll even go overhead, and I'll show you both of these. Give me just a second. So overhead, you can see this was the first cut. Do y'all see how we have a thicker black line at the top? Like, it wasn't terrible. It would have been fine had we sent our notebook pages through, but then we look at this one and we see how it's an even black line all the way across. That's what a fine calibration does, okay? So do y'all see the difference? Can they see the difference in those?
I think so, yeah.
So that's what a fine calibration does, and why it is important if you want to get very precise cuts. Okay? So that's how you do that. Then we'll go back to our share screen, and then it will ask you, are you satisfied with the cut? You can either select yes or no. We're gonna select yes because I think that is great, and we're gonna click continue, and now you are done with calibration and you can unload your mat. Pretty simple, huh? I think the hardest part with calibration currently has been just finding where it's at, really and truly. So we're gonna go back to make it. Since we have calibrated our machine, I've already printed. Now, back overhead, we have loaded the first sheet onto our first mat. I am cutting this on the medium cardstock setting. From there, what we're doing is it's a rinse and repeat process, putting this mat in our Cricut, sending it through, And while that's cutting, we are going to load our next page on a second mat here, so that when that one's done, all we have to do is switch them out. It's gonna take a few minutes for our machine to cut all of these pages for our notepad. Zakiya said I'm doing my own design right now. I love that. If I was doing this for myself, I would for sure do my own design. Like I would probably take, I think we have an actual like notebook page file on our website. I would take it, shrink it down to the size I want it, and then I would add in my own little cut files, put my name on it, like from the desk of Lauren, from Lauren's desk. And then I would flatten it all together. That's for sure what I would do.
I saw someone say that they could put a business logo on it.
Yes.
That would be so awesome.
A business logo would be great. Phenomenal. So once again, we're just gonna keep doing this. Okay? Motivation at the corner. I love that. I love that. What about print the printing if you have 3 printers, 2 for sublimation and 1 for stickers? I wouldn't calibrate my machine for sublimation stuff because you don't even have to use your Cricut really to cut out sublimation stuff unless you're wanting to cut it out like if you're pressing onto sublimatable HTV. But we don't calibrate our sublimation printers at all. No. I think by the end of this we will have, I don't know, you can do as many pages as you want. I think we have 10 pages or so, which would be like 20 sheets on our notepad. But it's gonna be up to you guys, however many you all want to do. So here, unloading, loading this one back in. This is why I like using 2 mats. Because I can then, like they just keep going. It kind of takes up my time while it's cutting. So I'm just gonna unload this one. Press play, throw that one away. We've got these cut over here. Lay them there. Boop. And then just keep adding these. I use 2 mats. Michelle says I use 2 mats also. Honestly, like if I'm doing, there was one day I had to do stickers for one of my friends. I was using 2 Cricuts and like 2 or 3 mats at the same time, like back and forth, rapid fire, getting as many done as I can. I'm a very big advocate for using 2 mats and like loading on one while this one's cutting and then switching out. Yes. Yes, absolutely. You could cut a magnet and put a magnet on the back. That would be great to have, so you could put it on your fridge. That's a great idea. There's so many possibilities with this project. So many possibilities. See, did we have any, oh, I didn't, oop. So we've cut 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I have 10 pages with 2 on each, so that would be 20 pages for this notepad. Did we have any questions that I missed, Sadie?
Someone's asking, can you cut on 2 different Cricuts from the same design space window?
So not from the same window. However, if you attach, let's just say we attached these and we kept it on there and we open up the same project in a different window for a different Cricut, then you can print these all and then have 2 Cricuts going at the same time from 2 different windows. It is possible to do that. Medium cardstock. We've loaded. How, I was concerned with the idea of putting wheels on the bottom. So putting wheels on the bottom of your Cricut is not going to mess up calibration as much. We used to have a Cricut that had wheels on it. So the reason that we had to calibrate this is because we pick this machine up and like sit it on the ground. And then we'll pick it back up and set it here. And then it will be back and forth from the table to the ground. And it doesn't always have to be calibrated every time we move it. It was just, I could tell it was off, so that's why I calibrated. Moving it doesn't always throw it off, but if it's jarred an extensive amount of time, then yes, it might throw it off. So just be aware of your Cricut, and when you see it cutting off, or when you see it's cutting not correctly, then I would just do your calibration. So like I said, yes, this one is, this is what the most time consuming part of this project is, just getting all of these cut out. Really and truly, you could, if you have like one of those big paper trimmers, you could do that and like trim 2 or 3 of these at a time. But we just wanted to use our Cricut so that, but it's up to you guys, however you want to do it. How do you get it to keep cutting without well, I am pushing buttons. There's not a way to keep it cutting without pushing buttons. So we're gonna grab, after that cuts, we're gonna get our Maker's Magic, our paintbrush, and our little binder clips ready. So I'm trying to see where, I don't understand, like I know people are saying there's a remember my cut settings.
I feel like I've seen it before.
I've seen it before, and I just took medium cardstock off our favorites. We're favoriting that back. But there's not, it's not there anymore. Do you see it? I don't see it.
I don't see it anymore.
I don't either. Huh.
I feel like it used to be like a little check box.
It did used to be a little check box, but I don't see it.
Yeah. Me
Huh.
either.
I don't know. I don't know if like when Cricut updated, if that happened. I'm not sure, but I was trying to see it. Oh, Karen says you have to have more than one mat.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay, last one is cutting. Oh, snap. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to add our little thing for our craft board for the back.
The backer.
Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and add this to here, and then we'll go back and I'll show you guys what to do for our backer real quick. I got sidetracked with customizing our file. Yeah. It says it's under, we'll look. I just always click my materials because there's a lot of projects that I use different materials for things, so I've just always clicked the material that I need. Okay, so we're doing this. It's not, so Jessie said it's the box to click, remember the material said is under the pressure drop down menu. Okay, let's do something real quick. Let's do this. Let's be done. Now, this is what we are going to do. I'm going to detach this real quick. I'm not going to move this. I'm going to duplicate one of these. I'm going to pull it over. We're going to attach these back. And I'm going to change this. So I've duplicated this for a third time. I'm going to change it from a print and cut to a basic cut. Okay, and I'll change it to brown to show you guys. This is what we're gonna cut as our backer. All I have done is duplicated our print and cut notebook page and changed it from print and cut to basic cut in our operations. So now we are gonna have 2 mats. So now I wanna go to make it, and I want to go and see if there is, yes, okay. If you have 2 mats, it is remember my material settings. However, on our second mat, which why it defaults to 12 by 24 irritates me so much, which I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't have to change it, but I'm OCD and I feel like I have to. But anyway, so if you have more than 1 mat, then yes, you can remember material settings if you do it that way. But with this one, for our backer, we are changing it from medium cardstock to craft board. Okay, and we are just going to put this through, and we're going to cut our backer. And while our backer is being cut, we're going to put all of these together, and then the magic's going to happen. The maker's magic is going to happen.
The maker's magic.
Maker's magic.
This is when it starts to come together. I'm so excited.
Yes, this is exciting. Press play. Do-do-do-do. Okay. After that's cut, we are going to unload. We're going to grab the backer here. I'm going to add it to the back. Now, this is where I like to line things up, especially on the top, and we're going to go to one side. So we're going to make sure the top is even. And one side, just like that. Now we're going to grab our binder clips here. And you're going to clip as close to the top as you can. And without letting that go, I'm going to clip this other side here. So our binder clips are holding the pressure together for our notebook, and that's why it's very important to have those to hold this pressure together. Once we have clipped our binder, or clipped our notepad with our binder clips, we are going to grab our Maker's Magic. Oh no. There we go. Whew. Didn't think I was going to get it open there for a minute. And what you're going to do is we are dipping our brush in here, and we are just adding, we're going to add a couple layers of Maker's Magic to the top. And y'all, that's it. It's that simple.
It's so easy.
It is so stinking easy.
For each layer, do you have to do it thin layers, or are you doing thick layers?
I would not do super thin, but not super thick. I would do about a medium. I don't know how to explain it. Like I can see it sitting on top a little bit, but you do want to make sure that it completely dries between each layer, okay? So we have added our first layer. I would sit, let it dry. It doesn't have to be completely dry, like a complete cure of 24 hours or whatever, okay? Yes, you do want to do more than one layer. I think on this one, I'm wanting to say that I did 3, maybe 4 layers on this one. I would do 3 or 4. You can go ahead 3 or 4. But I will say this, the very last layer that I did pretty thick. So the first few layers you want to do thin so it dries pretty fast. Like this is already getting tacky right here. It's still a little wet. You can also use a heat gun to dry it a little faster, but then you're gonna come in and do a couple more layers. And this would be really good to, like, you know, do a couple of these little notepads at a time so that you come in and add layers, go do something else, add some more. We're just adding adding 3 or 4 layers to the top of our notepad. Now, after you add all of your layers to your notepad, you're gonna wanna let this sit for 24 hours or more, okay? I say 24 hours. We let these sit overnight and they were fine. I let that one sit overnight. So you're gonna leave the binder clips on while it dries and let it dry. And then what you're gonna do is, once you're done, you can take the binder clip off and then you have your notepad.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So 3 to 4 layers. I did the last layer. I let the first 3 layers dry pretty good for a couple hours, and then the 4th layer I did pretty thick on mine. Karen is saying you can use rubber cement. That will work as well. We just love Maker's Magic. We've only ever done it with Maker's Magic, and we're obsessed with Maker's Magic, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So that's it. It's very simple. Like I said, the most time-consuming part of this project is printing and cutting all of those different pages on your Cricut. That's the most time-consuming portion of this project. This is so simple to make and so customizable. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I think it is
cute.
Great little gifts to make for so many people in your life. Yes. Teachers are the first ones that come to mind for me.
Oh yeah, they would love that.
They would love this. So, are you guys ready to see our project and make our shirt?
Yeah.
Da 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 da. Here, they can't even see it, can they?
No.
That's the whole
subtlety.
thing. That's the subtlety behind this. So let's go overhead, and you can see. Can they see it better there?
In real life, it's so cute, y'all. I like hope.
Hold it close. There you go.
Right there.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so you all can see how it looks like it is faux embossed. You can really, really see it in person a whole
so
lot.
Cute. Yeah, you definitely can more in person.
This is such a, it's a vibe. Like it's a vibe for me. I love it. So we're going to recreate this tone-on-tone faux embossed sweatshirt today. First thing that I want to do is I'm going to turn on my heat press and get it up to the heat setting. Now, let's go overhead real quick and we'll just talk about the supplies because y'all, it's like 3 things, okay? Literally 3 things. So you're gonna need your shirt, and I did see some people in there earlier saying how black can be hard to color match as well. I agree, it can be, but I think your best bet is if you have a specific color you're wanting to go for. Let's say you're wanting to use a blue or a lilac or whatever. I highly suggest taking a scrap shirt or a scrap rag, whatever, and pressing your puff vinyl and then taking that puff vinyl to the store and matching it up with the color of shirts that they have.
Yes.
Okay? And yes, you can do this on any shirt or any sweatshirt. It does not have to be this brand. We are using the Comfort Color brand, but y'all, puff will adhere to any fabric. So let's go ahead. This is the puff vinyl that we are going to be using today. And yes, this is the Hobby Lobby brand. And y'all, I'm pretty impressed with how well it puffed up.
Yeah.
Like I said, like Alicia said earlier, no matter what puff vinyl you use, you are going to get somewhat of a brainy effect, but you get less of the brains if you press it perfectly. So the first start in pressing something perfectly is checking your times and temperatures. So this sheet is what comes wrapped around the front of this puff vinyl. Do not throw this away. Same thing with, I know that I've seen it with Tech Wrap, lots of brands. This is going to have your information on the back. I highly suggest that you read your instructions on all different material. This is set the heat press to 284 degrees. I mean, y'all, they got it down to not just 280, not 285, 284. I'm surprised it doesn't say 284.3 or something.
Yeah.
So, if this is what they say to puff their puff vinyl on, that is what I'm going to set my press at, okay? They are the ones that have spent hours testing different materials, finding different formulations, finding the correct heat press setting. So go with whatever brand, whatever the temperature of that brand says, okay? So that said 284. I'm gonna come back over here and set my 284.
Kim says it's a super classic look. Think Guess brand in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, that is
All day.
exactly what we were going for.
Yes.
I
I
love that.
actually remember my mom having a Guess sweater, tone on tone. Like, I don't know if it was puff vinyl. Maybe it was puff vinyl. It was tone on tone though. And it said Guess really big across the chest. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Nostalgia.
Yep. So after you have that set, my next thing, and this is just personal advice from me to you. If you do not have a laser thermometer that you can point and shoot at your heat press, I know this is gonna sound silly, but if you are having issues with puff vinyl and it's not puffing properly, you have your heat press set to exactly what they tell you to, and after time and time again it's still not doing something right, that means your heat element is off. That means this plate right here is off. Guys, every single heat press is different. The mechanics inside the heat press, something may be off a little bit. It's just the same as you may have a Honda Accord and I may have a Honda Accord, same year, same color, same everything. You always have issues out of your car, I don't. It's just it's the way that sometimes mechanics work. So even if you spend a lot of money on your press, I highly suggest getting a laser thermometer if it is not working for you. That way you can check the actual temperature of your heat plate. There is a good chance. Kim says infrared thermometers are about $10 at Harbor Freight. There you go. Beautiful. That's what you need. Because a lot of times either a heat press, the temperature will be way higher than what you have set, or it can be lower. So I have seen a lot of people's puff that I have seen on Cricut official website, in our membership, inside our Facebook group. A lot of it looks overpressed, meaning that you've pressed it too long or it's too hot. Heat plays such a big part of this. So
If you're using an auto press, you're gonna need extra pressure.
you are going to need extra pressure, and you can find that in the form of a pressing pillow or a pressing mat.
Right, like that little squishy thing that we have on the base of our heat press, if you could sandwich another one on top of it, would give it that extra pressure. So that's like a silicone mat.
So this is like, and I'll show you the thickness, go overhead. This is how thick this mat is. If you have an auto press, what you will need to do is get another one of these mats, or a heating or a pressing pillow is what they're called. They're like, we've actually got one in here. I'll show you what a pressing pillow looks like. Give me just, this is a small one. Like this is a pressing pillow, and we'll go back overhead. You can see it's squishy. It has a Teflon sheet surrounding it. So basically what this does is if you add this here, and let's say this was an auto press, what this would do is it would make this press have more pressure. So if you have the HTV Raw Auto Press or the Cricut Auto Press and you are not getting the amount of pressure that you need for your puff vinyl, I suggest a pressing pillow or an extra mat just to have that, get that pressure up, okay? So we've gone over our supplies: mat, puff vinyl, shirt. Real hard, guys, real hard. We have set our heat press to the exact temperature that our puff vinyl said. For the Hobby Lobby brand, we have set it to 284. For other brands, I know that we have a video comparing, I know 3, StarCraft, TechWrap, Caesar, Puff Vinyl. You can check that out if you want to know more. We even have a Puff Vinyl reference guide, guys.
Yep.
Do we not?
We
on
do.
our website.
We sure do.
We have a Puff Vinyl reference guide that you can check out if you get a different brand than the one that we are working with today. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and hop over to our share screen. And we are going to start the process of adding our words to our shirt. Okay, so the font that we're going to be using today, Cricut has already told me that we don't have it on this computer. We're going to go back to Maker's Gonna Learn. I say back, we've not been there today. We are going to go to Maker's Gonna Learn. And the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to come over here to my dashboard and I'm going to show you guys that Puff Vinyl reference sheet. This is a portion of the website that I feel like more people need to take advantage of. First of all is your dashboard. Here, you're going to find so many things here in your dashboard, but our resource library. What I wanted to show you guys is this Puff Vinyl reference sheet, which we actually we might need to update since we have used this 405 and the Super Puff.
Metallic, yeah.
The metallic Super Puff. So we will update that pretty quick. But we have the 3 brands that we initially started out trying was the Caesar, TechWrap, StarCraft. You have your heat settings here and your cut settings here and then your heat settings, guys. Look how easy. We did it for you. So if you lose your stuff, you can come back here. Love that. So let's go back this way. And we are going to go to our font section. So when choosing a font for this, I highly suggest, yes, Tool and Vinyl Supply. First of all, I would like to order some more from Tool and Vinyl. They're the ones that carry the Super Puff, but I've also heard a lot of people talk about Atlanta Vinyl Company.
Yes.
If anybody in here, if anybody on our live has used Atlanta Vinyl Company, I have heard and I have seen posts about their puff being phenomenal, like their regular standard puff being really good.
Okay.
So we will add that to our list, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to our share screen. For this specific one, I think it's going to look the best if you have a somewhat of a thicker font. But also we're looking at more of like a serif style font. So what I mean by a serif style font, you see how this has like the little, I'll make it bigger so we can explain. And Alicia, you're the font queen. So if I'm explaining this wrong, tell me. I'm trying to open this up so we can look at it.
Okay.
Oh, everybody's saying Atlanta Vinyl is amazing.
Okay, well we need to order some then, or order something from them.
I know.
Are y'all just using their Puff Vinyl or are you using regular vinyl?
I'm curious. Okay, so what I mean by serif, do y'all see at the bottom of these letters how there's like a little table, I guess you could say, like a little shelf at the bottom of and tops of these? That's what I'm looking for. That's a serif font. So you want somewhat of a thicker font. We were going for a serif. Now, is that what you have to do? No, guys, you can do whatever you want. You do what tickles your fancy. But I'm just showing you how we went through. I thought like this one might be cute, but then there's all those little things in the middle, so I didn't much care for that.
You gotta think like when you put this puff on there, it's gonna blow up, so any details kind of disappear. Unless they're big details, like big prominent, like if you use like Saturday night or where it has like the curlies, like they're so big that you can notice the detail. But if you're using something like Dapper, all of those little serifs are gonna disappear.
I was about to say, in Dapper, all of the little inside pieces, even if you weeded those out, your puff is gonna puff up to where it doesn't even look like there's anything there.
Yeah.
Okay. Atticus is another one that you have to kind of be careful with. These letters over here look great, but that A has such a small opening inside the A. Like you just have to be careful with which types of fonts that you pick for with Puff Vinyl. But one cool thing you can do about our website is you can type out what you want your shirt to say, and I want it to be in all caps, so I'm just gonna go ahead and type it in all caps, and you can scroll down here and pick which font you want to use. I love doing that instead of trying to imagine what a font would look like. So that's what I did for this. Substantial was the font that we went with this specific project. So to download a font from our website, what you're gonna do is you're gonna click this arrow pointing down here. What it's gonna then do is it's going to download on, maybe, where is it going? It's taking it forever today.
Is it just sitting in your downloads, in your Finder?
I don't even think it's done that. See, it's still loading in the top.
That's weird.
I know. So anyway, I'm gonna wait on that. I'm gonna see if it's in my Finder. Downloads? No.
Recents?
It's not even there.
Wonder why it's taking forever.
I don't know. Oh, okay. Now let's try to, am I signed in? Yep. Download. Oh, there it goes.
Huh. Interesting.
We might have to have somebody look at that.
I'll just say I'm on Atlanta Vinyl right now, just perusing, and they have the Gildan heavy cotton t-shirts for $3.62. Like blank Gildan t-shirts.
That's a good deal.
And their hoodies are $12.99. Yeah, that's very cheap. And Gildan's good.
There you go, guys.
Yep.
Okay, so back in Design Space, one thing that if you are new here, if you've just downloaded a font onto your computer, Design Space is not going to recognize that font. So let me show you what I mean. If I go up here to font and go to my system fonts, and I know I want to use the Substantial font, I'm gonna start typing in that word. You see there's no search results for that, right? So what you have to do is you have to make sure that you save your project first, come up here to view, you're gonna reload Design Space. What that is going to do, and we're just gonna hit save. What that is gonna do is that is going to recognize all of the new fonts that you have downloaded onto your computer. So now you can find all of your fonts in the system fonts. So what we're gonna do now, go back to text. We're gonna go to our fonts, over here to our systems. Now this time, when I search for Substantial, it pops up right there. Beautiful. So now all we have to do is type in our word. And now you can see they look a little bit different, don't they? Mm-hmm. I will show you what we did. So once you have sized your word up, down, whatever, we're gonna go overhead and we are going to measure the area that we want to work with. Now, for this specific project, you can actually do it longer than 12 inches if you want to, because you'll just have to use a 12 by 24 inch mat. Because it is so skinny, if you want it to be longer, perfect. That would be phenomenal. So what we're gonna do is we're just going to measure the area that we have to work with. Another thing you really want to be conscious about when you are putting words on a shirt is, are you making this shirt for a female, or are you making this shirt for someone who has a larger chest? Let's just say that. Are you making this shirt for someone who has a larger chest, or someone who does not have a large chest? That has a lot to do with the placement and how big I make something. Mm-hmm. If I was making it for myself, I'm actually gonna go probably about 10 to 11 inches at most. Just because if I get past that, it's gonna start like running under my arms, which is not a cute look.
Right.
So you just kind of have to be aware about those things. Generally speaking, this is a size large shirt. You know what? I think it's gonna look really good sitting around 10 and a half or 11. I mean, if you wanted to go up to 11 and a half, you can, but I don't think we're gonna need the 12 by 24 inch mat, okay?
Yep.
So once we have the length that we know our word can be, we're gonna go back to Design Space. Here we have it, it is 12.5. We're gonna bring it down to about, we'll go ahead and bring it down to about 11.5 or so. But one thing that I did do that, guys, I feel like I have talked about it. It's a cardinal rule.
I already
Don't
know what
do
you're doing.
it.
I already know.
I did unlock it and I stretched this bad boy just a little bit. But
It doesn't look bad.
But
It
this
doesn't.
font, I feel like can take it.
You can.
I'm not stretching it a lot, but I wanted it to be, because it was like 1.5 inches tall. I wanted it to be at least 2 inches, which is about right there.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that looks good.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. I wouldn't have known.
See, you
You know,
would have
some
known.
fonts you can really tell.
Some fonts
Like
you can
scripts,
tell.
you can tell
Yes.
really a lot, but
Yes. So anyway, this is, I'm just gonna hide this old guy. We're gonna use the new guy because that is the width I want it. So once you're done there, guys, that super hard tutorial today in Design Space. You've downloaded a font and typed out your word.
yep, that's it.
That's it. That's literally all we're doing. Now we're gonna go to make it. Now from there, we're gonna mirror our design because we are cutting it on heat transfer vinyl. Then we're gonna go to continue. We are using our Explore Series 3 machine today. And we'll just go ahead and go overhead. Let me move this out of the way. Oh no, I might have to use this mat. It's sad that we went and bought a bunch of mats. I don't want to say it because I don't want to jinx us.
I don't like opening the new mats. I'm like, no, I don't want to.
Okay, one thing that I want to show you guys, first of all, what have we in the past always said when it comes to heat transfer vinyl? What have we said about the shiny side and the matte side? We have always said shiny side down.
Yes.
Because 9 times out of 10, the shiny side has been the carrier sheet.
Right.
This is something that I feel like everybody needs to start checking, and something that I feel like everybody needs to start getting it in your head. We're not saying shiny side down anymore. And the reason that I say this is because Mary Catherine, who has been with us forever, she has just started like prepping more of our projects, like helping us in the craft room, which she's not done a lot of. So she said, oh, this is HTV, it goes shiny side down, right? And she went like this and she plopped it down. I was like, yep, you know what? That's normally what we do say. But I want you guys to look at this. This is why I want every one of us to get out of the habit of shiny side down. Here is our shiny side. Here is our matte side. Are y'all seeing this?
Yeah.
Look,
They trick ya.
the matte side is the carrier sheet. So with this one, we can't say shiny side down. I can't even, there we go. Carrier sheet is the matte side. Puff vinyl is the shiny side.
Yep. And that's been pretty much across the board for all the puff vinyls that we've used.
That has been across the board for all puff vinyls. You are correct.
That we've used so far.
Yes, it's been one of those things. One of them, though, I feel like did have a shiny carrier sheet, but I don't remember who it was.
We've done Tech Wrap, StarCraft, Caesar, and 405. Was it Tech Wrap?
Tech Wrap was one that you pressed twice, wasn't it?
One of them, yeah. So a couple of these puff vinyls you have to press twice.
Yeah.
Which are the ones I don't like to use.
I'm not a big fan of...
One and done for me. That's why
Yeah.
I like Caesar so much, which y'all know that. We love Caesar. But this 405, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I mean, it's getting the job done. It looks good. It was one of those that we could go pick it up. So...
yeah, it's right up the street from us.
Yep. Yeah, you can label them. Donna says after we told them that, she checks every single one. I mean, you have to anymore.
Yeah. And I'll say
HTV
this,
Ront is very bad. No, I won't
you
say
took
that
the words right out of my mouth.
I won't say it's not that it's bad vinyl. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it is notorious for it being different.
It's a combination of either matte or shiny carrier sheets. And you just can't know unless you look.
Yep. Okay, so all I'm doing is cutting this on everyday iron on default pressure. First thing I'm gonna need is a, oh, here's one, just kidding. I was about to say a blade.
Oops.
Oh, nope, there's not one in there.
It's not in the thing?
Nope, because there was not a blade in your machine earlier and Mary Catherine needed to use your machine.
My machine didn't have a blade?
Your machine did not have a blade.
Interesting.
Interesting.
BRB.
I struggled with Caesar vinyl on what side to cut. Once I figured it out, yeah, you really have to check. You have to check every single one now. It's just like, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and load this while we're waiting on, I'm gonna go ahead and unload it too. It loaded.
Over there.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put this bad guy in there and press the play button.
Alrighty.
Now, while that is cutting, I'm gonna take the tag off this and I'm gonna pre-press our shirt for a couple reasons, okay? First reason I want to pre-press my shirt is I want to get the wrinkles out. Like I don't want there to be any wrinkles when I lay down my puff vinyl. But the next reason that I really like pre-pressing my shirt is because I like getting all of the extra moisture out of the fabric. And that really helps adhere your HTV down a lot better. If you get that moisture out of your, out of the fabric, it adheres. The adhesion on the fibers are better.
You gotta think, if there's moisture in there, it's not gonna adhere as well. Like,
yeah,
that just makes sense, you know.
So we're just giving it a quick little pre-press.
A little tap tap.
A little tap tap. Doesn't have to be very long. You can see it got the wrinkles out. It's good. It's warm. Love it. Okay. I just went all out and didn't even check to see if it cut. I just unloaded immediately.
YOLO.
YOLO. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut across. Guys, I can't see this. Okay, we're good. We're good.
It is hard to see. Listen, we've got some puff vinyl out there, like colors that I really want to use. I just need to make it. We bought shirts. We've like made a plan to make shirts to wear when we film and stuff, and I feel like they're just sitting out there not being made.
Mm-hmm.
I bought some like cobalt blue to put on a gray sweatshirt. Never made it. Never made it.
I think we ended up having to use the gray sweatshirt for something else too.
Did we?
Maybe we didn't.
You can, if you can weed it, use what you can to weed it. I used a stick pin for years upon years to weed. So I didn't even know weeding tools were a thing until about 2.5 years ago.
Well, there you go.
So you can really grow far in a couple years.
You can really
evolve.
You can evolve, that's for sure. Okay, so we have our cute little homebody word weeded out.
Cutesy.
Let me, there you go. Can you see it better there?
Mm-hmm.
Love it, love it. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, there it is. I've got a t-shirt ruler. I'm going to place the t-shirt ruler in the middle. Now, one thing that I love to do, and we're gonna go back overhead. I love to take my design, whether it's words, whatever, and I'm going to line up the very edge of that word, and I'm gonna crease this right here in the middle. Okay, y'all see this? Now I have a crease exactly where the middle point of this is. Now I did not crease up here at the E. I actually creased this above it and this below it. I don't want to crease my actual vinyl. It looks like it's creased, but it's not. So now what I can do with that middle point is I can bring it back over here and I can line it up with the center point, center line on your t-shirt ruler.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now this, honestly, it stays down. If you want to use some heat tape, you can. You do not have to. I am, however, first of all, going to check this for sublimation.
For anything.
Literally for anything. The only reason I'm doing this is because if this was not a white shirt, if this was black, I would press it no problem. I don't know what is on the top of this press. So
Just
we're protecting.
Safety first.
Safety first, always. This is I'm pretty sure it's a 10-second press, but let me double check. Listen, even the experts revert back to instructions, guys. Don't be so ashamed that you won't revert back to instructions. Yes,
yeah.
10 seconds. I wanted to double check myself. So 10 seconds, 284, very firm pressure.
Beautiful.
And literally no more than 10 seconds. Like, I need to stop talking so I can watch this.
And listen, if you all saying so you can have some Makers Gonna Learn merch in your craft room. So
And then we'll bring it over here. And ta-da!
I love how the transfer sheet just comes right off with puff
I
vinyl.
know.
It just flops off.
It just flops off.
Yeah, it totally
It
detaches.
completely flops off. Now, this is a pretty good puff. I feel like this is a pretty good puff. I am going to grab one real quick that I think that I actually did too low of a temperature on, and I want to show you what it looks like if something is too low. It's not that it doesn't look bad, guys. It is just this, I want you all to see the difference, okay? So, this one right here, can they see this, Sadie? This, it has puffed. It does not look bad. It was too low of a temperature. And you can see that because it's just not puffed near as much. Like, you can't see it from the side. I don't know. Anyway, this means your temperature is too low. Now, if it starts flattening back out from this portion of it being brained up, then your temperature is way too hot. And you've just gone straight through. Does the puff crack after washing? I personally have not I've not had any issues with puff that I have a t-shirt. The purple MGL shirt. I don't know if you all have seen it. Sometimes on videos it's a purple short sleeve shirt and it has white MGL with like the middle out of it. That's a puff shirt that we did the very first time we did puff.
It was like our first trial.
It was like the very first time we did puff. Y'all, I've worn that shirt so many times, washed it so many times, no issues.
Me neither. And you know, I hear a lot of people that are like, my puff vinyl never stays on, and like, I don't know if it's the type you're using or maybe the adhesion process that you're using, but I think that brand definitely plays a role. Are you pre-pressing the moisture out of your shirt so that you get better adherence? Like, there's so many different things that go into puff. Like, you kind of have to practice and like perfect it. So if you find you're having issues, keep changing stuff until you get the right formula for whatever vinyl you're using.
Yeah, you definitely can't see that from the front.
It's so cute.
It's so cute, though.
I love it. I love it. This is a unique Cricut craft in my opinion. We don't make stuff like this a lot.
Not a whole lot, but this is one that I think is so flippin' cute. And I feel like that's all I say. It's so cute.
So flippin' cute.
But I'm telling you, like, this is one of those that is super easy. Literally anyone can do it. If you have a Cricut, you can do this. This is, once again, we are working with HTV today. We worked with HTV yesterday, and we're working with it again today, but on a different material.
Yes.
So I think this is really going to expand your knowledge on what all you can put HTV on, because HTV is such a versatile, in my opinion, probably one of the most versatile materials that you
yeah.
can use with your Cricut. There are so many different things you can do with HTV.
HTV is something that I didn't utilize enough as a crafter before I worked here, and which I didn't have a Cricut. You guys know I didn't have a Cricut before, so I always used adhesive vinyl and stencil vinyl, and HTV is so universal, and like you can just use it over so many different things.
Yes.
And you know, we've been seeing these hats everywhere for like, I don't know, a couple of years now. There's a girl who paints them on Instagram who I'm obsessed with.
And they also do the burning on them. Like they take like a wood burning tool, but they'll burn on them.
Those are beautiful.
So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be teaching you how to get a very similar style, but not with like, obviously painting and burning and things like that comes with lots of artistries. Or comes with, you have to be an artist.
You've got to be able to like draw it and paint it yourself.
And I'm not saying we're not artists. As crafters, we are 100% artists.
Yeah.
We are artists.
Yeah. So anyways, let me just show you guys what we're making today. First of all, let's go to camera 1 so I can show you from far away. Okay, this is the hat. Isn't she gorgeous? This hat was from one of our local boutiques, Salt of the Earth. I can't find a hat that fits my big old head, okay?
It's just like one of those $15 felt wide brim hats. It's not
nothing fancy.
Nothing fancy.
Yeah, I made it sound fancy, but it's not. If I can find a hat that fits my dome, I'm gonna buy it, okay?
Yep.
So Salt of the Earth had these. I bought 2 and I wore them like 3 whole times and then never wore them again. But now I've fancied it up. So anyways, this hat fits my head. This is the outside. Now this is not the Cricut element. The Cricut element is here. Look, like I don't know if it's giving this is green reflective vinyl that we used on here, okay? I say reflective, but it's like metallic. This is one of the hat files that Mary Catherine exclusively designed for us, okay? It's beautiful. And then we know that not all hats are created equal. So you can see, this is the hat we're gonna use today. Obviously they're different sizes. So I'm gonna show you all how you can take whatever hat you have and then make the custom shape and design space so that you can customize your own hat, because they're not all gonna be the same, right?
The brims are not gonna be the same width. They're not gonna be the same all the way around, but
everything is gonna be different.
This little trick that we're gonna teach you to actually get the size of your brim is gonna be worth it.
Yes. So I've got some feathers. Listen, grab whatever you have. If you've got some beads, these are feathers Lauren used for
a trucker hat.
Yeah, she did that cute trucker hat. I think you wore it on a live stream before.
I did. I have.
So
there's lots of cute little feathers.
Yeah, just random feathers. There's even these in here. We won't use these today, but look, these little turquoise pieces.
Ooh, that would be really pretty on that brown though.
Yeah, maybe we could. See, this is the fun part. And I think this will be such a fun party, like to do a hat party and like everyone decorate their hats, because like you're not going to use 1,000 feathers, but your friends will, you know? What?
I was just thinking that cowboy ribbon and that turquoise.
Yeah, okay, we're using a cowboy ribbon. So this is...
I bought this cowboy ribbon at Hobby Lobby, by the way, and I was obsessed with it, but it was too thick for what I needed it for.
Yeah, so we were like, let's do it for the hat. We'll do it on this hat with the turquoise. We'll see. And then we've got, Sadie got these today from the Walmarts. Where's that other one, that blue one?
It's on my table. Do you want to go grab it?
Not yet. We'll see. We'll see. But there's these. So just random assortment of ribbon. This is like a studded pleather string that I had. And then, so you're going to need lots of little bits and bobs, you know, just some fun stuff that you can add. And then I have metallic heat transfer foil vinyl. Y'all know we've been using this foil vinyl forever. This is like, if you did the Santa key with us last Christmas.
Is that the bronze or the gold?
This is the gold.
Okay.
I got like the true gold. We have a bronze too, but I didn't think it would show up as good.
Right.
I pre-cut some of these because they take forever to weed. But look, look at these words. That is so delicate. Like, are you kidding me? So I love this vinyl because it weeds so well and it cuts like butter. A lot of this stuff may not be linked, and the reason being is because I just grabbed other stuff than what we used on the original hat. So I'm gonna go and put in updated links for you guys after this video is over. So I've got a standard grip mat here. I have a hot glue gun. You're gonna need a Cricut Mini Easy Press, if I can grab it. We've got our Cricut Mini Easy Press. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that on to the second heat setting.
Now, we did have some questions real quick.
Okay.
First one, Donna, and then we also had another person, Tamara, said that they were wondering the same thing. I wonder if I can put this on my summer straw hats. I wear one outside all summer. The biggest thing that I would think that HTV is going to adhere to it. It's just how big is the weave of your straw hat? Like, are there lots of, because some straw hats have a lot more holes in it than others. You know what I mean? Some straw hats have a very thick weave, like a, lots of different.
Like a jute or something.
Yeah.
I would honestly, if you had a straw hat that had like a band of fabric, like do an embellishment on your fabric. Yeah. Rather than trying to do on the bill.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to like embellish your hat, it won't be the same like design how we're doing it around the rim, but you could definitely like put these flowers on the, you know, on the fabric part.
We also had someone ask what a trucker hat is, and a trucker hat is like an old school baseball cap. It's more like a mesh back hat that has, the front part of it is pretty tall.
Right.
It's got the foam area in the front is pretty tall.
I'm looking for oh, it's the first one. Okay, let's open this up. So, did you guys have fun in the coloring pages yesterday? Those were so cute. Those are good Easter basket stuffers. Those little coloring book canvases.
For sure.
Okay, so this is kind of what your design space is gonna end up looking like. Pam, this is your first live ever? Oh my gosh.
Welcome.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna be addicted. Live streaming is like way different than our normal videos. You're gonna love it here. So anyways, I've got these two pieces here. This is kind of where we're gonna end up. But I wanna show you all how to get your template. So you know we like to start with a template before we start actually designing. Everybody's hat's gonna be different. So we're gonna show you how you can find whatever hat you have and make your own custom template. So we're gonna start with basic shapes, come up here to the shapes panel, and we're just gonna pop in a circle. Now we're gonna need to know the size of the perimeter of our hat. So let's go overhead, and I'm gonna nip off my things here. I'm cutting it like I do that in real life, but I actually pull them off of everything. So this hat is 13.5 by, I'm measuring from edge of brim to edge of brim, okay? So this is 14.5, we'll say, and by 13, okay? So I don't know why I put 13.5. We want 13 by 14.5. Okay, that's our outer rim. Now I'm going to just duplicate that. You can use this little duplicate button up here on the top right. This one is going to be our inner circle. So let's go back overhead and measure our inner circle. So I'm measuring all the way across. That is the diameter, right? Diameter, perimeter, radius.
Diameter, circumference, radius.
What's the perimeter then? The perimeter is not a thing. I mean, it is a thing.
It
the
is,
circumference.
but it's circumference.
Okay, we're getting the diameter. 7 by 8.5. Okay, so we're gonna go and measure this one, 7 by 8.5. Okay, and then we're just going to, you can see that I have two circles here. I'm gonna change the color so you guys can really see what's going on here.
We also have someone else who is with us for the first time live, Brenna Williamson.
Oh, hi.
Just became a member last week. A little overwhelming, but so much fun. We 100% agree.
Yes.
I think Alicia and I can both concur that when we started with Cricut, we were, oh my God, so overwhelmed.
Yeah, well, there's
So
just lots of
overwhelmed.
fun things to do.
There is.
So anyways, we've got our two circles back in design space. We have our two circles. I'm gonna click, drag, and select both of those circles, and we're gonna go to align center. This is gonna put that circle right at the center of my hat, okay? And then while I have them both selected, you can see I've got them both selected, I'm gonna go over here to our combine menu on the bottom right, click that, and then we're gonna hit exclude, and watch what happens. It takes out the middle, okay? So that's pretty much all you need. You can change this to the color of your hat if you want to, Or if you wanted it to just be a guide like it is over here, you can select it, come up here to operation and hit guide, and it just gives you the red outlines. But I want mine to be brown, and I need to also let it size back down. Okay. If you want to zoom in and you need to be closer, don't make it bigger, because we just sized this exactly how we want it. So you just need to zoom in. So here we go. Now we've got our hat template. Now we get to go pick out the fun part. So let's go to the website. We're going to go to Maker's Gonna Learn. We're already there. We can go to our dashboard. We're already technically in the cut files.
So I do want to address a quick question that has been asked a couple times. Quanda asked, could you use the foil on top of adhesive vinyl like you did with the voicemail video? So first of all, the voicemail video that we did, it was a clear HTV adhesive that we put on
It's like a specialty material.
It's like a specialty material. It's not adhesive vinyl. It is a specialty HTV that has like an adhesion to it. And if you have electrofoil and you want to use it, you can, but with this specific hat, the results are just gonna be so much more flawless if you just get and I want to say, if you want to show them that name brand of that foil HTV one more time, I think it's like
T-Vinyl Warehouse.
T-Vinyl Warehouse from Amazon. It's gonna give you a flawless result every single time.
Now, you could use this foil on top of adhesive vinyl though.
Yes.
Because this is just standard, it's just a foil HTV. So you can use foil HTV on adhesive vinyl. Like if you're wanting to make a sticker.
Yes.
With this on it. Yeah, you could do that.
You can do HTV on top of adhesive vinyl.
Yes.
But back to our design.
Yes, back to our design. So we're on cut files. So if you can't find them, they're always right up here at the top of our website. And then when you get here, I want to say it's under felt hat. Let's type in felt. We have
just the word felt? Okay, cool.
I guess that's for like labels or something. We have so many files, you guys. Okay, these are the three. Are these not adorbs?
I love them.
Me too. So this is the one we used on the green hat, but I was feeling a little frisky and thought, let's use this one because I really like how these are like
turned sideways.
Yes, I
do
love
too.
that. So let's download that. And you're just going to click that down arrow and it's going to go into a zip folder. I'm going to click it. If you can't find it, go look for it in your downloads folder on your computer, and it'll be under felt-hat-floral. And I'm going to open that up, and you're going to have a PNG and an SVG, but we only need the SVG. So I'm just going to keep this box up, just keep it up, and we're going to open up Cricut Design Space. Go over here to this left side panel. We're going to select upload. And then we're gonna go to upload image over here on the far left. And then I'm gonna pull back that little folder that I had open. So I just popped it back in front of the screen. If you need to, you can move Design Space down, and then you can just click and drag that file into Design Space. How easy is that to upload a file? So I have to hit upload. And then we have to add it to our canvas. So it's uploaded in Design Space, but it's not actually on our canvas yet. So I'm going to select it here. And then you can see that it's added right here. And we're going to hit add to canvas. Okay. Okay. And it's going to come in at like a standard size. So this is where you have to start working with the files and kind of moving them around to make sure that they fit whatever hat you have. This almost fits perfect, but you can see like it's very close to the edges and it needs to be messed with. So let me get a drink of water, sorry. I'm parched. Okay, so I was kind of playing around with this before the live stream, and I was like, I kind of want to do something a little bit different. Y'all know how we are, we like to zhuzh it up a little bit. So I was thinking I just really want a portion of this. So I'm thinking we want to do like flowers down here. So hypothetically speaking, if you wanted to do it exactly like this and you wanted to do these all the way around, you would have to like separate the individual flowers. Let me show you how to do that. I'm going to show you how to, step one, separate a flower off that needs to be resized, because some of these are going to need to be like shrink. Some of them fit just fine. I'm going to show you how you can do that. What I would personally do, and there's 100 ways to skin a cat, like Lauren says. What I would personally do is go ahead and make a duplicate. Okay, this is my original. I'm just going to keep him there. He's going to hang out there. and I am going to contour off anything I don't want. Now we can slice a big chunk of this off. I think I'm going to slice a big chunk of it off just to start. So what you're going to do is take a shape. We're just going to go over here to our basic rectangles, squares, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to unlock it. This is going to allow me to freely move my square, okay? And I'm just going to slice off these right here, okay? So it looks a little weird because you're like, hey, you're cutting into that one. That's okay. I'm going to show you how to fix it. So we are going to, let me zoom in. We're going to cut off that little section of the flowers, okay? So I just put a square over what I want to cut off, and then I'm selecting the square and the image, okay? You can only slice with 2 layers. So I've got 2 layers selected. We're going to hit slice down here on the bottom right, and you can see it does this after I hit slice. Do you see what happened? And then we're going to select all of these extra layers. We don't need them. So now this is what we're left with. Okay, so it looks a little weird. It's like not exactly how I want it. So what I'm going to do next, since we're working with an SVG, we can use this contour function down here on the bottom right. Me and Lauren were just talking about how the contour feature of Design Space is one of the best features that they have. And like not a lot of design softwares have this feature, but I just really love it. So this is something where you can delete out portions of an SVG image that you don't want, and you don't have without deleting the whole thing. So what I'm gonna do is zoom in. Okay, where did it go? I'm gonna zoom back out because I don't know where it went. Not me sticking my foot in my mouth. I am. It won't go anywhere. Okay, let's X off of it and open it back up again. What I'm going to do is select a good portion of this up here and delete it. And did you guys know this? When you get into this contour feature that you can click, drag, and select multiple. Well, it let me do it in there. It let me click, drag, and select multiples. There we go.
There it is.
Okay. So
I did not. You learned something new. That's one thing I didn't know you could do.
Yeah, but like it doesn't get it all, so I don't really know how well it works. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have to go in here and click on all these little individual pieces, and I'm going to need it to zoom in for me because I can't see what's happening. Now I can go over here and select these guys, but I would rather not do that. Because see, look, when I X off of it, look what happens. Do you guys see?
Nikita said my zoom in on contour hasn't worked in like a month. Add it to the list.
I was fixing to say, add it to the
y'all,
list.
Did you see our Sunday video that we posted about what has happened to Cricut? CEO of Cricut responded.
Yeah.
They're sending it to their IT team.
Yeah.
They are on it, and we have a response.
We're rallying people.
Yeah,
we're rallying.
We are behind you guys.
Yeah, and honestly, all thanks to you guys for like commenting on that video, because everybody was like so supportive and like they were like, yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah,
like,
we
thank
feel
you for
that.
saying it.
Thanks.
Yeah. And we had been kind of talking about like that we should make a video about it, but we were like unsure because we didn't want you guys to get the wrong
Zoom and undo are the top 2 on our that don't work.
Zoom and undo and like the 12x24 snap like matte default. That's so annoying. We got a whole list, honey. I went through the comments. We had like 1,200 comments. I was like literally going through comments this morning, writing down everything that you all do not like about Design Space this morning. So anyway,
and it's not even things you don't like. It's just issues we've been having.
Right? Yeah. It's like things that need to be fixed. So okay. Continue. So we're going to keep working on this. I need to cut all those little pieces out. And since I can't zoom in on my contour, I'm going to slice them babies off. I'm just going to cut them off. I'm just going to go get me a little square, and I'm going to come over here.
Now, we did have somebody ask, can you explain why you are doing this? The reason that we are doing this is because not all hats are going to be made the same, and you're probably more than likely going to have to manipulate at least one portion of some of these files, okay?
Right.
So what we're doing is we are literally just manipulating this file so it's on one side, because that's the design that Alicia's wanting to go for, is that it's the florals are on one side and words on the other. So that's what we're doing. We are literally just manipulating this file so that we can have it exactly how we want it.
Yes. So I'm just showing you all a couple ways. You can use the contour function. You can use the slice function. You're probably going to have to use a combination of both, if I'm being really honest with you. But if you are wanting like just a few flowers, you can do what I'm doing, but just get rid of more flowers. Do you see what I'm saying? So whenever we're teaching you things, we really want you all to take the techniques and then incorporate them into whatever craft you're making. So don't feel like, well, I'm not making it exactly like that, so I don't really know how to do it. But you do know how to do it, because I just showed you how to use the contour, and I showed you how to use the slice feature. So if you all are wanting to, if I went through it too fast, you can always rewind me and rewatch 100 times. Like, nobody's putting a number on it. You can watch it as many times as you need to until you get it. And then once you get it, it's like stuck, for me at least, it's stuck in my brain after I've done it a few times. It's like riding a bike. So that's pretty much how I got this to where I want it to be. Now, let's go look at the sizing and see what it looks like. I'm wondering, I'm gonna shrink it just a little bit. Now, a lot of people will wanna come over here and they will want to hit the unlock and then like warp this. While you can do that, be very careful, because it may mess up the shape of your flowers and make them look like distorted. So you wanna be very careful, okay?
Yes.
Someone asked a really good question. Kim says, why don't you just ungroup the image and choose the individual flowers to do whatever you want to do with? Let me show you why I cannot do that. So look over here. So this is the original image, okay? It hasn't been touched. I haven't resized it. I haven't sliced anything out of it. Look at our layers panel. So this is a 1-layer SVG. Now sometimes SVGs will have multiple layers where you can manipulate it, but the way that this was designed was to go around the rim of a hat. And so it's laid out in a circle pattern.
So it's a compound path, like it's, you
Right.
can't move it.
Right. So that's why I'm showing you how to do it. But that's fine, because now we're learning how we can manipulate files to work for us, right? Rather than against us.
Yes.
So I think this is really cute.
Love it.
I'm going to keep it like that. And listen, if you wanted to, you could, like if it wasn't fitting this way, you could always take this one that we just created, duplicate it, and then flip it, and it would fit on the other side. You would just have to kind of play around with the angle and all of that. Does that make sense? So anyways, I just like this one little area, and I was thinking it would be really cute if we did words. So I'm gonna use this font. I think it was, it's not Nomad. What font did I use for this today? Oh, it's such a pretty font. I can't believe I'm blanking on it. Anyways, I'm gonna put "You Belong Among the Wildflowers," and we're gonna go find a really pretty script font. I wanna say it was either Sangria or I don't know. It's very thin, but
Look, I was trying to look at it.
I think it's a new font. Let's go look. So I'm back on our website. I'm gonna go to fonts, and I wish y'all could see me talking with my hands when you're not even looking at me. I'm like, we're gonna go to the website, and like, no, literally nobody can see me moving my hands. Oh goodness. Okay. Now, I love this part of our website because I can type in what I'm putting on my hat and see what it's gonna look like before I even download it. So I don't have to waste my time going through here and like downloading all these fonts and doing all this stuff. I don't wanna do that. So let's type in our saying, "You belong among the wildflowers." Okay, Tom Petty, and hit preview. Now, this font right here is gonna be a hard no for me.
It's a beautiful font.
Oh, it's gorgeous, but
For HTV or adhesive vinyl, it's a no.
for small too, particularly, I think.
If you did one, that is very cute. If you did one large letter,
yes,
it would be doable.
Yeah, I agree. This is cute. This is cute.
Christine, no, there is not a difference between nomad and gypsy. We actually just renamed gypsy because it's a derogatory term, and we did not realize it, and we always want to try to correct our mistakes, so we named it nomad.
Yes. So let's go see. Because I was thinking in my brain it was going to be like, there's Sienna. It was going to be like a really pretty handwritten script. There's Sangria.
Is it Bridget?
Is it Bridget? Is it Bridget? Let's go search Bridget. I already have that one downloaded in here, I think. Oh yeah. Yeah,
is
that's what
Bridget?
it is.
No, it's the tail of the Y is different, I think.
Listen, I'm going to link the one that I used here, y'all. But we're going to use Bridget for the tutorial, okay? Because I don't know what font it is. But this is like the same, literally the same vibe. I don't know if that y'all will even be able to tell a difference. So I've got my font here. Now I'm going to turn this baby a little bit. A little bit more. And then I like to turn it, how do I say this? I like to turn it to the width that I want it because I'm about to arch it. So I like turned it because it's going to go right here. So I'm turning it so it matches that angle, and then we're going to curve it, okay? So I've got my text box selected. I typed it out exactly how I wanted. And then we're going to go to curve. And this is where you can curve it, okay? Now I'm going to click off of it and move it up here so we can see it go better. And you can make this as curved as you want. I mean, you could hug the head if you really wanted to, which would be really cute. Let's see what that would look like actually. The nice thing about this curve feature is I can click off of it and come back to it.
I would just twist it a little bit. Nope, other way. Right there. Right there, looks pretty.
That's cute.
That's very cute.
It's cute. It's hard to see, y'all. Let me change the color of the hat for you. There, now we can see it better. I was hurting my eyes trying to look at that, wasn't it? Isn't that cute?
I love it.
I love it. So, yeah. So once you get it designed exactly how you want it, make sure your sizing is exactly how you want it, and then you're like ready to cut. That's it. So I'm going to hide everything that we don't need. Now, I'll say, I already cut these out because it takes forever to weed, but I'm going to tell you my cut settings. That way you guys know, and I'm going to show you how to lay it on there and all that. So we can hide our template because we don't need the hat shape, okay? We don't need that. We only need our designs that we made, okay? I'm gonna hide these flowers, hide these flowers. We only need these two pieces, okay? So, we're using Explore 3. Let's go to Make. And then, now we're using heat transfer vinyl. So that means we need to mirror. So I'm going to mirror, and I'm going to come down here. I'm going to mirror that. I will say you do use a lot of vinyl for this, but you can save your innards and use them for scraps.
Other things, yes.
Yeah, you have pretty big scraps on this one, so we save them.
So Deb said, isn't that font going to be really hard to weed? It is a little harder to weed, yes, but the good thing about this foil vinyl is it weeds so well.
I'm going to cut the words for them.
It's like insane how well this foil vinyl cuts.
I'm going to cut the words for you guys just so you can see because it's just amazing. And also I really like how it like hugs the rim of the hat.
Right.
Okay, so we've got our, excuse me, we've got our standard grip mat. This is that gold vinyl. I'm going to put it shiny side down, okay? And we're going to start with the words. Now, these words, they arch out pretty far. So check in Design Space. Let's look. These words arch out to like right at 8 inches. So make sure, because these gold sheets are not 12 by 12, they're 10 by 12, which is a really weird size, but they're 10 by 12. So you want to make sure that what you're cutting is fitting in here. And if it doesn't, see if you can, like if you need to rotate your wording or something.
You can rotate it in Design Space.
Right.
If you need to rotate it, you can
Like you
rotate
could
it.
You could do like this, you can move it.
Yep.
And so, you know, whatever you got to do to get it to fit on your piece of paper. Okay, so from here, we're gonna go continue. Jessie, that's a great point. You can always offset your fonts to make them thicker if you'd like as well. And I can show you guys how to do that if you want. So we're gonna cut this on everyday iron-on. I always cut this vinyl on everyday iron-on and it's fine. And then we're going to load it into our Cricut machine. And while this cuts, I'm gonna show you guys what you can do using an offset to make your words a little bit thicker. Okay, the Gold HTV is T-Vinyl Warehouse. I keep forgetting the name of it. Is that what it is? T-Vinyl Warehouse, yeah. Okay, but listen, if y'all use this vinyl, particularly this brand of vinyl, this T-Vinyl Warehouse, if you use it and you cut thin words like this, I can guarantee it cut. I can't guarantee it cuts, but I personally have cut so many teeny tiny script words with this vinyl and it cuts so good. I don't know if y'all saw, it wasn't last Christmas, but the one before that, our tablescape that we did, we had a little deer with a name on it and everybody was like, how did you cut it so small? Tell me how you did it. And we were like, good vinyl, this T-Vinyl Warehouse, good vinyl.
Yep.
And just cut it on the everyday iron-on cut setting. And I swear that's all we did. So it is very good quality. Okay, this is coming off. We can reattach her if we want to. I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. Use your scissors. Where's my little babies? Little baby scissors are so handy for this project.
They are.
Here we go. Also, I feel like I'm all over the place. Is it just me?
What do you mean?
I've been severely dehydrated for a couple days. So I feel like I'm all over the place with this tutorial, but hopefully I'm easy to follow. They really sewed this sucker in.
You're still cutting? Jeez.
Yeah, they like sewed it. This is really cute. We might use it again.
That is super cute. What could we use it for? That'd be kind of a...
I don't know. We could put it back on the hat. Maybe. I'm going to pull these strings out. Okay. Cute, cute, cute. See, it's just a plain Jane hat. And we're about to zhuzh it up, y'all. Okay, I'm going to pull my vinyl over here. Now, like I said, you do waste quite a big chunk of vinyl. I won't say waste because you can reuse it. I'm just going to cut around where my words are. And I'm going to save this stuff for scraps because really, I do a bunch of stuff small with this vinyl because it does so good.
Those jewelry cases will be really good for this scrap vinyl.
See? Already got a project in mind. So that's a pretty, I mean, I can save all that.
Yeah.
So we're going to save that and then we're going to weed this and get a, okay. I wish I could zoom y'all in because you probably going to be able to tell. Okay. Also, ignore my self-tanner hands. Okay. I get it. I have ugly self-tanner hands today. It's just how it is. They're not dirty.
You have one self-tanner hand.
No, they're both. They're both.
Okay.
It's okay. Ginger problems.
It's all good.
Look, y'all. So I just kind of like snapped that part so I can just weed the top. I don't like to try to weed the top and the bottom of something. I like to just weed the top first, especially long, dainty words. But look at this. Are you kidding me? Like butter. Uh-oh.
But don't say anything.
It's just the dots of the eyes. They just don't want to stay. They don't want to stay. It's okay. It's implied.
Donna says, what was the super pretty gold in our mystery boxes? That is actually just a StarCraft gold adhesive vinyl. We wanted to throw something. We did not use that for Make-a-thon. We just wanted to throw that in there extra for you guys.
A little extra razzle dazzle.
Razzle dazzle.
Yeah. Okay, and now I'm gonna come back. Y'all, it's painful to watch me weed sometimes, I'm sorry. So I'm just pulling this away from the words. And actually, I can come back over here and kind of weed. And sometimes you'll see the HTV will try to curl up, but the transfer is sticky, so you can just stick it right back down.
Kim says it just looks like you were working really hard staining projects.
What? Oh, yeah, that's what I was doing. Yeah, that's staining my entire body with self-tanner. That's what I'm going to start telling people, though. That's a good idea. Used to, now, really, when I did do wood signs all the time, my hands looked crusty all the time. And I wore gloves, like, to stain and stuff, but golly, it's awful. Listen, I'm going to use a pen tool for the middles of these letters. This is why we did this before, but I really wanted to show you guys. So I'm going to use a pen tool for the middles. And look, this is what I do to stick my little pieces. I will cut off a piece of this transfer tape and just sit it there, and I'll stick all my little pieces to it. Hack. Hacky hack.
There's a Caesar Easy Weed Electric, but they're not super like foiled.
They're not like this,
Right.
where it's reflective.
Strip flock, stretch, fluorescence. Oh, Caesar Metals. JK.
Can you get Caesar, Fred?
Don't know. There was also something else. Christine says Christine says I've used Cricut foil and it works good.
Oh, good. Okay, there you go.
Lorraine, the foil is from Amazon. It's T vinyl. We will link it here in just a few minutes. We did not use it on the first one, which is why it's not linked down below.
Yeah, I'm going to get you guys updated links as soon as we get out of this live stream. So this pen tool you can get on 143 vinyl, and they're amazing. Or if you want to make your own, you can just use a sewing needle and a mechanical pencil. It's just a little tiny needle in the tip of a pen. And it gets out all these little bitty pieces. So, and then we can like dry fit it before. That's what I love about heat transfer vinyl. You can kind of lay it on here and like make sure you've got it fitted correctly. I mean, like, I don't know if you guys are getting the pretty reflection. Yeah. Okay.
So one thing I want to address, Deb said earlier, that's confusing then. What does carrier mean? I thought it meant it was the backer sheet. So some instances, the carrier sheet is on the back. Those instances are going to include permanent vinyl. Permanent vinyl has a backer or a carrier sheet that is on the back.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's a paper backing. 9 times out of 10, it's a paper backing. Sometimes the backing on permanent vinyl is plastic, but 9 times out of 10, it's more like a paper-ish type backing, carrier, whatever you want to call it. Carrier sheets for heat transfer vinyl are always on the front of the vinyl because it's kind of like the heat transfer vinyl. With adhesive vinyl, what sticks to everything is on the back of the vinyl. Same thing with heat transfer vinyl. It's on the back of the vinyl what sticks to everything, but how you apply it and how that adhesive is activated is completely different. So heat transfer vinyl, obviously you have to have heat to activate the sticky part of it. And so it doesn't have neither side. The only sticky side is the carrier sheet that's holding the vinyl down to it.
Yes.
So that's why with vinyl, you have to do carrier sheet down and permanent carrier sheet. Carrier sheet is always going to face the mat, either way you go. Carrier sheet always touches the mat.
This is why I think that they got confused, because when you said it, I started to get confused, because in my brain, permanent and permanent vinyl, adhesive vinyl, like the sticky vinyl, non-heat transfer vinyl, doesn't have a carrier sheet. You apply that transfer tape is the carrier sheet in my brain. And I think that that's why. But I see what you're saying. I see exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
You explained it. So
carrier sheet, just think of it as the carrier sheet to your vinyl is the side that's not cut.
Yeah.
Always.
That's a good way to think about it.
It's the protective. So just like with heat transfer vinyl, the carrier sheet protects the front of the heat transfer vinyl, and the carrier sheet with adhesive vinyl protects the back because it protects the sticky part.
Right. Right. Precisely. Okay, let's get into this. So we've got our words right here, okay? And then I've got my flowers. Now look, we've got some gaps here. it's bothering me. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go in here and cut it with my scissors. Why not, you know?
Yes.
You can just cut it, and I'm gonna cut this one. And I don't wanna move them too much. I just love making these hats, you guys. They make me so happy. They like bring me joy. I think it's because it's like it's very crafty. Like I get to like glue and put stuff and embellish, and it just makes me happy.
So we did have someone ask, can you purchase carrier sheets for HTV for t-shirts? So you normally do not even have to have a separate carrier sheet. You use the built-in transfer tape or the built-in carrier sheet for HTV for shirts.
Yes.
You don't have to have another one. The only other time you would need transfer tape. So I think we're getting confused with carrier sheet and transfer tape.
Yes, that's what I was saying. I think that's what's happening.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's not elaborate.
Let's finish the lesson, and then at the end we'll take questions on carrier sheets and transfer tape and whatever you guys have questions on, because
Yes.
we're gonna get way lost.
We are.
Okay, so I've got all of my flowers where I want them and my words where I want them. And someone said, how are you going to put pressure on that? Well, I'm going to use my hand. You could use, this is a good option.
Or a mat. Hold the mat underneath.
You could hold the mat underneath. I've got a roll of paper towels here. I mean, anything.
Literally whatever.
It adheres so easily, y'all. You're going to be like, oh,
You don't have to put a lot of pressure. That's the thing is with this is you don't have to put a lot of pressure.
Exactly. So, and what I'm going to do first with especially with my words, because I have them right where I want them, I'm going to like tack them down. So I'm going to like, psh, 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 and then, you know, so we're just going to give a little bit of heat here and a little bit of heat here.
Kathy, the hat is from Walmart.
Yes. I'm just kind of.
Lorraine said the edge of a table. Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. So I'm just kind of tacking it down. And then you can just, I can literally just hold this and do it. Do what feels comfortable for you, because it's very awkward. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of pressure here. I sound like a doctor or a nurse. I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure here. And I'm like, that's not pressure. That is painful, but thank you. Y'all, this vinyl is so pretty. Like, I don't think that
It does not translate on screen like it does in person. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, it's just so beautiful and like reflective.
It's like where our ceilings are black, it almost reflects the black back on it so you can't really see it.
I know, like.
That's how reflective it is.
Yeah. Make sure. And so when you
It's
go.
also a cool peel.
Yeah. Warm to cool. So like if it's hot and you try to pull this off still, it's not going to work. So make sure. And do it slow, because sometimes some parts of the vinyl may not completely be adhered yet. And you just have to go back in and apply a little bit more heat. Oh, that is Gorgina. Also, I've been calling Georgia Gorgina for like a week straight. Poor baby. I've been like, hey, Gorgina. And she's like,
She's just always so happy.
I say, Gorgina, Thumbelina. She's like, oh, hello, Mommy.
Oh my God, the way you tilted that made that, it just popped up on my screen. It made it, it's insane.
When it hits the light, it's like, okay, that looks amazing.
I know.
So some of these are coming up on the brim of the hats. I'm questioning whether I like it or not. My heart's saying no.
I mean, you can always, the good thing about this is if you have any overhang on like the bottom, you can literally just take some scissors and snip it off.
Right.
And make it look like it just cuts off inside the hat.
Yeah. So, and I love that the carrier sheets are sticky, so these kind of stay where I put them, even though I'm like moving this around everywhere. Okay. See how this one's like coming up here on the, past the seam? Mm-hmm. I'm just going to scoot it. You can just kind of play around with the angles so it fits, you know, because I just think it'll look better. It'll look more finished and not as handmade. You know, we don't like people to ask if we made something. We want them to ask us where we got it.
Right.
Okay. Now this one came up on the rim a little bit because I was not paying attention. I didn't realize it was that close. It's ruined. I'm just kidding.
Yes, you could put this on the outside of the hat if you wanted to. We just wanted it to be more or less like a little peekaboo effect.
Yeah, like something different. Because we're going to do stuff on the outside. And some of this right there, if it meets that seam, if you've got a seam on your hat, you can kind of push it in there still and it still will adhere. Okay, and we're just going to keep on trucking. It's nice that these are cut out individually because then I can, look what I did.
Did you touch the other HTV?
I touched it. Okay, listen, rookie mistake. Rookie mistake.
Rookie.
That's disappointing.
I'm going to take you out back and old yeller you.
About half of me wants to pull that off. Okay, listen, 2 rules. Make sure you take your leftover heat transfer tape and just keep it on your flowers so that when you go to do your next ones, you don't actually melt your vinyl. So even the professionals make mistakes. But if you were like, that's ruined, I hate it, you can apply heat from the other side and you can remove it with a weeding tool. I'm just gonna kind of show you. I'm not gonna take the whole thing off on the live stream because it takes a minute. But like I can heat this up and then I can, it usually, oh gosh, maybe it won't with the felt. It usually will like release your vinyl. And then you could just have to recut your flower that you want to go there. So I'm going to recut that after the live stream because this hat's really turning out really cute. But you can heat that up and remove it and just put a new one on top of it. I hate that that happened. I honestly could probably just cut a little leaf and put it there.
Probably.
But I love these hats because like, even if they're a little bit roughed up, like it looks cuter. The rougher around the edges it is, the cuter it is. You know what I'm saying? It's rustic. Back when rustic was really in, I could mess up everything.
Mm-hmm.
No one's gonna know. It was supposed to look like that. Okay, this one kind of moved. So just make sure before you start on the next one that it's exactly where you want it to be because they do kind of move around a little bit. Okay, I love it. And then flip her over and we're gonna add our embellishment. So on this one, we did feathers, ribbon, and that like studded leather. Mm-hmm. And this one, we're doing a Western cowboy. I'm obsessed with this. I'm obsessed. So this one we kind of like did a overlap and cut a dovetail, but I feel like we could tie this one, like make it more rugged. I don't know. What do you think? Do we
I don't know.
accent on the side?
Here is our boot camp link.
This ribbon is thinner than I thought it was gonna be.
Sadie? Sending that. Yes.
Gorgina, Bobina. So y'all, I had never embellished a hat before, if you want me to be real 100% honest with you. So I was just winging it. Just make it look cute, you know? The more the merrier on these, in my opinion. I feel like if you add more, it like makes it look cooler and like rugged. You can buy pins for these. You could embellish up here if you wanted to put like initials or something cute like that. Let me get my scissors. Who is here?
I don't know, but somebody has the code.
Someone's in our building. Oh, it's Tanner. It's Tanner. Oh, I think he was trying to be discreet. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, the whole crew's here.
Hi.
We're just wrapping up our live stream.
Oh,
Look.
My goodness. Look at y'all.
Isn't it so fun?
Listen.
It's supposed to look like a cowboy wears it, you know?
Aw.
So that's what we're doing.
How do you feel?
Put it back on there.
Did that come on the
I love that.
Yeah,
That
this,
looks
so
good.
this came on the hat, but I'm thinking we should put it back. I just didn't want it. I like the cowboy western
you definitely
too.
need that back on there. Show come back. The season. Yellowstone.
Oh,
Okay, this is cute. Look, guys. Look how
so
fun.
adorable.
I love it. Okay, that's the finished products.
Woo! Okay, let's model
Oh, this is the back.
Yeah. Alicia.
Wow.
take your hair down.
What do you guys think?
Oh, here.
What do you guys
I
think?
love them.
Are we
Look at your hair down!
Do we look like hipsters?
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Do we do the same pose? That is freaking hilarious. Okay. Well.
Okay.
Anyways.
You all are amazing. Thank
Love
you so much.
it. We'll be back.